So every year I challenge myself to learn a new skill. And this year, 2025, I said, this is the year I'm going to learn how to code. And I don't want to be like a great programmer. That's not the objective. What I wanted to do was I wanted to understand AI at a deeper level. I wanted to understand how the process worked. And you really don't learn those things by just scraping the surface. And so after doing a little bit of research, they said Python is the best language. Number one, because it's fairly easy to learn. And number two is that if you're interested in machine learning, that's what it's written in, is Python. And so initially I went out and I started poking around. I said, where can I learn this? And I came across this website called Boot.dev. If you're at all interested, this has been an amazing experience. These guys did a phenomenal job of creating a course that teaches you how to code while giving you real world scenarios on when you would use this code or how you would design it. So essentially you're helping them design a video game. And I got into that for a few months, and then all of a sudden, about the time we started kicking off this podcast, I learned about things like N8N and how you could construct these amazing workflows and AI agents and writing the system prompts. And it was very drag and drop, required very little coding experience. And so I got a little distracted for several months while I was doing this and sort of wrapping my head around it. And I'm glad I did, because I've been able to build a lot of functional stuff. Like what you're looking at right now, this automatically generates LinkedIn posts for you and will post them whenever you want. You can put it on a schedule. You can do it, once at a specific time of day. You can manually do it. It's just a really, really useful product that incorporates artificial intelligence, right? Well, after I got through this and I sort of understood it, I thought, I want to come back and I want to start learning how to actually build something real that has a website and that I can go to. And I was watching a guy on YouTube, and he was trying to explain how vibe coding could help you design sites and things that would be helpful. And one of the things we've been doing with this channel is we have been trying to make sure that all of our titles and thumbnails and things are the most interesting, right? That they can be. And we did a little bit of research, found out that, hey, if you associate the problem rather than the solution, that those tend to perform better than making them solution-based. And so I thought, could I design a little app that just ran on my website or on my local host, and I could put in the title that I wanted to use, and it would tell me, is this a solution-based or a problem-based title? And then offer me alternatives so that I could maybe have some different ones to test. And so how do I do that? Well, I used a combination of actually having Cursor and what was the other one that I used? Was it Lovable? I don't think it was Lovable. It was one of the other ones where I just tell them what I want. It vibe coded it up, and then it puts it into here. Now, there are all kinds of issues with vibe coding, right? If you're into vibe coding, if you're a developer and you're talking about vibe coding, it can be very dangerous because you put yourself at risk that the AI is creating stuff and you don't know what it is. But since I was only going to run this on my local machine, I wasn't really worried about it. I just wanted to test it out and see if it would work. Well, as you can imagine, as I went through this process, I was running into, because I don't really know what I'm doing. I know just enough to be dangerous. And I was thinking to myself, well, how do I do this? So originally when I wrote this code, it didn't connect to OpenAI, because you need a prompt and you need to be able to call to the AI to have the AI do the work. It didn't have that built in. Whatever vibe code happened, it didn't create this for me. So I had to figure out how to do that. And this is where it gets interesting, because while I have been coding are doing a lot of work inside of N8N, I've been using a combination of Claude and OpenAI in order to figure out what I needed to do. So if I had trouble with an N8N workflow, I would go to Claude, because Claude had access to all of the information about N8N. And I was getting really frustrated because it just doesn't work very well. And this goes back to some of the other things that I've been talking about repeatedly on this show. Okay, so at this point, you may be feeling a little overwhelmed at the realization that this whole AI agent thing isn't quite as easy as you thought it would be. Well, I got some good news for you. It can be. You see, the engineering team at Motion has spent years designing the most useful work tool for the 21st century. And they already have AI agents, exactly like the one I'm showing you, built directly into their platform that their engineering team can customize to fit your company's unique needs. So if you want a simple and friction-free way to add AI agents to your business, click on the link in the description for a free trial to test Motion out for yourself. And for everyone else, let's get back to the episode. There is a chasm between what they say works and what you see in benchmarks and what you get in practical application. And even somebody who doesn't really understand a lot about coding, I could understand that, hey, Claude 4 Sonnet or Opus or whatever it is supposed to be one of the best coding, vibe coding tools out there. It's what everybody's using. I thought it sucked. And so as I was coming around and I was using this, I've been using a new website called Qwen. And Qwen is I believe this is a Chinese company, and they have a bunch of free models here, Qwen Max and Qwen 3 Coder. And I have to tell you guys, Qwen 3 Coder has blown away every other application or AI that I have tried to use for coding. Anytime I ran into any problems in designing this app, I would just go to Qwen 3 Coder and I would tell them what the problem was, and it would give me a solution, and it was never wrong. Ever. That's the crazy part about this is you would expect it to be wrong occasionally, right? I'm trying to find the one where I actually did it here. So here's where I went through the OpenAI integration. And we could scroll all the way back up here. It's quite a bit of stuff. But basically, I just told the AI, hey, I've got a problem. I need you to help me create some sort of connection inside of my code that will call to OpenAI, and I can put in my API key and I can get information back. And man, if it wasn't just the easiest process in the world. And so I say all of that is, number one, you should learn new skills. Right? You should really challenge yourself every day inside of your business to find something that you don't understand well, and hopefully something that is becoming more and more powerful as time goes by, and immerse yourself in that for a year. If you are not immersing yourself right now in artificial intelligence, I think that you're doing yourself just a huge disservice, because this is where everything is going. And I'm not saying that you have to learn how to code. I'm not saying that you got to learn the inner workings of machine learning or write your own, create your own websites or your own apps. I think it would be good if we did that, because nothing is going to prevent you from competing in the future than not understanding how these things work. Okay. But if you are not using Qwen, go give them a shot. Again, this is not endorsed by them. I make nothing from this. I just want to tell you, I have tested all of them. I've spent a lot of time learning how to code, learning how to design AI workflows and AI agents. And I can tell you that Qwen 3 Coder is better than any of the other models that I've found, at least for somebody like me who doesn't really know how to express what I'm trying to do. And so maybe if you're a hardcore developer and you can explain to the AI in developer language exactly what you're wanting, then maybe one of the other models is better. But what I'm saying is, from my viewpoint, as a novice at this, if you really are trying to learn and you're trying to fix things and you don't have all of the language, go and try Qwen 3, because they have just been phenomenal. Anyway, that's it. Just a short lesson today. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you soon.